You're watching Good Day Siouxland with Nick Wilson and meteorologist Ethan Foreman. From KCAU 9 News, this is Good Day Siouxland.
Well, good morning. It's 6:46 on this Friday morning. I'm Nick Wilson.
And I'm Maggie Warren, in for Ethan.
Well, the temps might not compare to yesterday, but we will have a little bit of that wind to worry about.
Yeah, I will say it is a warmer start than yesterday. Temperatures in the teens and 20s. 22 in Sioux City, 19 there in Lamar's, and a 16 in Sheldon and Spencer. Those coldest temperatures on the map. We will see things warming up, though, as we see some cloudier conditions, but temperatures rising into the upper 30s, low 40s. A great day to maybe get out and get those cars in for a wash. Some of that road salt out on the cars. Definitely want to get that washed off. Temperature is going to rise into the low and even mid 40s for many across the area. Some upper 30s as well. But overall, a unseasonably warm day once again, if not a little above average for us. Taking some winds there, going to be gusty too, Nick.
Thanks, Maggie. Well, South Dakota Governor Larry Roden is expected to sign his first bill today. And that bill is SB 7, which will ban sanctuary cities in the Rushmore state. The bill passed through the South Dakota legislature with little opposition, and it passed unanimously in the Senate and received only 6 votes against in the House. That signing is scheduled for 9 a.m. Well, meanwhile, in Nebraska, lawmakers held a special session on lowering property taxes last year, but so far this year, we haven't seen any new legislation introduced on the issue. Nebraska State Treasurer Tom Breezy says property tax is still a top priority for the governor and state lawmakers, but the root of the problem needs to be addressed first.
The root cause of the property tax crisis in Nebraska is the state's failure to properly fund K-12 education at the state level. There are some bills having been introduced that will help address the property tax crisis, but when you do inject more dollars into K-12 education, you have to ensure that those dollars yield property tax relief.
Now, for Nebraska school districts, 49 to 75% of their funding comes from property taxes, with state funds providing 32% or less. Well, here in Siouxland, current and former firefighters with the 185th Air Refueling Wing Base in Sioux City have filed 2 lawsuits against the state of Iowa. The suits allege the firefighters have been paid at the wrong pay grade for a few years now, along with continuous incidents of being shorted on overtime pay. Both suits say the state of Iowa violated the Fair Labor Standards Act, as well as the Iowa Wage Payment Collection Law. 32 firefighters are behind the suits. They're requesting a jury trial and seeking for a judge to immediately correct their pay rates, in addition to the payment of all unpaid wages, benefits, and overtime. Well, in lighter news now, if you have a number 9 birthday coming up, KCAU 9 would love to help you celebrate. We're celebrating the 9s each week right here on Good Day Siouxland. So if you or a loved one is turning 9, 99, or any 9 in between, we want to hear about it. Every Thursday morning, we'll share our list of birthday shout-outs, and next week, one lucky person will take home a prize from Coffee King. So if you'd like to be featured next week, just go to SiouxlandProud.com and click on Celebrating the 9s under the contest tab to enter by Tuesday at noon. Now it's time we meet today's Stray of the Day. Every day we share a pet picked up by Sioux City Animal Adoption and Rescue who's waiting to go home, or in this case, 4 of them.
That's right, and these are Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Della. They're all 9 to 10-week-old German Shepherd Husky mix puppies that will eventually grow to weigh around 60 pounds. They were found abandoned on the 1200 block of 17th Street, and the rescue says they're friendly and outgoing pups that will need some training as they get older. Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Della are all available for adoption now.
And if you've lost your pet, you're looking to adopt, or you'd like to sponsor a pet for adoption, you can visit the rescue's website, head over to SiouxCityAnimalRescue.com. Well, 4 dogs is a lot, but they sure look like they'd be fun to have around.
They absolutely do. They are some cuties there.
And they might enjoy the weather conditions. Not the worst day to be outside.
Yeah, maybe get those little pups out for a walk today. Any of your dogs too, looking to be shaping up to be a nice day. We see a quiet morning on the Ho-Chunk Center camera right now, though. That sun just starting to rise out on the horizon. Some traffic getting going out there on I-29 as we continue to take a look out there. Temperatures in the teens and 20s. 22 in Sioux City, 22 down in Tacoma, and still in the teens to our north and northeast at this hour. Winds still fairly calm, between 5 and 10 miles an hour at most. 0 mile an hour in Orange City, and wind chills in the teens and 20s. A couple spots in the single digits for us as high pressure slides to our east. Some snow showers trying to get going, but really going to stay mostly dry and snow free for our day today. It's not until we get into later tonight, tomorrow morning, we start to see a system pushing in some wintry precipitation, mix of rain, maybe some snow into our Saturday morning, quickly sliding out of the area. That trough of low pressure dropping to the south and east. High pressure filling in behind it, and we see some clearer conditions for the rest of the weekend. But for today, 40 degrees, some flurries for the morning, quickly tapering off, giving way to partly cloudy and breezy conditions. Gusts to 25 miles an hour. And speaking of 25 degrees for tonight, mostly cloudy. Some light snow and flurries late. We see those winds easing up out of the southeast, 5 to 10 miles an hour, but picking up and shifting more northerly for our Saturday as that snow tapers off. Temperatures in the low 30s for the weekend, upper 20s as we head into next week. And then teens even as we get to Tuesday. Some snow chances again Monday night, Tuesday, and then falling temperatures, lows into the single digits above and below zero. Warming up though just in time for Valentine's Day, but unfortunately that sunshine through the extended forecast going to be very, very limited, Nick.
All right, thanks Maggie. Now we turn to sports, where it's state title time for Iowa High School girls wrestling. Anthony Mitchell shares which Siouxland athletes are still in the running for the championship. That's right here in your morning sports wrap.
Good morning, Siouxland. The road to the state title ends here for Iowa High School girls wrestlers last night, taking the mats for day one of the state tournament in Coralville, with this year being the first multi-class tournament in Iowa for girls wrestling at the high school level. Now let's see who is advancing one step closer to winning it all. Starting off the action in 2A, over 30 Siouxlanders made it into the Class 2A state tournament, with 7 advancing to the semifinal round, which kicks off today. Lamar's has a pair of wrestlers in contention in Kiera Hesenius and Kareen Payne. So does Spencer, with Kiara Ruiz and Shaylee Sutherland. For Hinton, Jocelyn Swanson advanced, as well as Tegan Robertson of Bridgeview and Marley Patet of Western Iowa. 7 local wrestlers in total advancing to 2A's final today. And now for Class 1A, a bunch of wrestlers competing in the nightcap. 5 total from 5 different schools remaining in title contention after day one. At 110, Cora Shutt of Sioux Center, a pair of local wrestlers in 135, and Isabel Harris of GTRA, and Spirit Lake's Reese Logan. CLGLR's Lucy Conchi remains in 140, and Kaylee DeYoung of BHRV will have a chance to compete for the 235 title. Tune into our championship coverage later today on KCAU 9 News at 6, plus Sports Zone Friday night at 10 p.m. Conference tournament play underway in the state of Nebraska for high school hoops, including a busy night last night of semifinal action in the Lewis and Clark Conference, as Wynot and Bloomfield battled for a spot in Monday's title game. Queen Bees and the Lady Blue Devils meeting up at Homer High School. Bloomfield comes into the night winning 6 of its last 7. Wynot winners in 3 of its last 4. Bloomfield trailing by 6 in the first quarter. Madison Lottie making moves on the fast break. Freshman finds the bucket to bring the game to within 4 points. Wynot, though, having their way from 3. Kiera Himes drains the triple. She's wide open, but it's Bloomfield coming back to win at 35-32. They'll face Homer in the conference championship game Monday night at Wayne State College. And finally, a look at the award winners from the NFL Honor Show last night. Bills quarterback Josh Allen was named the NFL's most valuable player, his first career MVP award, while Eagles running back Saquon Barkley was named Offensive Player of the Year. Remember, he ran for over 2,000 yards this season, just in the regular season alone, while Broncos cornerback Pat Surtain II was named the Defensive Player of the Year. For more awards here, Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniel was named Offensive Rookie of the Year. If you remember, he led Washington to a playoff win after that team had the second worst record in the NFL just a year ago, while Rams defensive end Jared Verse was named the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Rounding it out here, Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell was named the Coach of the Year. Now for our Siouxlanders, Vikings linebacker and Rock Valley native Andrew Van Ginkel finished 7th in Defensive Player of the Year voting, while Eagles rookie cornerback and Otabol's Cooper DeJean finished 4th in Defensive Rookie of the Year voting. And that'll be all for sports. Have a good day, Siouxland.
Now let's take a look at this morning's top stories, what you need to know before you go. Well, there's a good chance we'll know who will serve as the next superintendent of the Sioux City Community School District by the end of the day. The school board plans to meet today to work on that decision. It comes after community members heard from the two candidates and asked them questions last night. Around 50 people attended. One of the two finalists is Dr. Juan Cordova, who told us he sees himself making an impact with the district's minority students, as well as every other student.
I know what it feels like to sit in a class where there's, let's say, 20 kids and 19 of them are all interacting and you're sitting there not having a clue about what's going on. My life experience allows me to empathize, but also help them see that there's an outcome to that if we follow through with what we're doing in terms of learning the language.
The other finalist is Dr. Corey Seymour. He told us he believes a good education does not only take place inside the classroom.
Believe it or not, for students, it's not just academic, but it's social, and creating those social opportunities, whether it's a club, an activity, or a sport or program. Those are the things that were necessary to also bring students in. And we all know that attendance is linked to performance. Because we have them in school, students they get to perform because they're getting the education that they deserve.
The school board will meet beginning at 10:30 this morning. At least a portion of that meeting is set to be a closed session. Meanwhile, Iowa House Republicans have shared their proposal for public education funding. Iowa Capitol Dispatch reports the Iowa House GOP is calling for a 2.25% increase. That translates to about $149 million. Now that's slightly higher than the 2% called for by Senate Republicans and the governor. Iowa Democrats, meanwhile, have proposed an increase of 5%. Well, one last check on that forecast. What do people need to know about today?
Well, it's shaping up to be a pretty nice day. Temperatures in the low 40s once again. Getting rid of some flurries this morning and then turning partly cloudy and breezy. Winds gusting to 25 miles an hour, but still, again, going to be above normal for this time of year. 25 degrees for tonight. Some more snow and flurries arriving late into our Saturday morning. Not really expecting much in the way of accumulation. The accumulation going to remain mostly closer to that I-90 corridor, and then we see temperatures falling through the weekend. Some sunshine returning for our Sunday, and then temperatures falling into next week. A couple snow chances, but again, nothing too terribly impactful at this point. Temperatures really peaking at that coldest by Tuesday when we see overnight lows falling into the sub-zero range.
Got to enjoy today because we're seeing a lot of cooler temps afterward.
Unfortunately, yes.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.